One thing that I'll go over real fast, because I did the Kihongata, is one of the things that it teaches you is how to use your hips for power generation. And one of the ways I like to illustrate that to people is by using some sort of a stick. This is a jo, a 4-foot staff used for jodo. But if you hold this pulled tight against your hips, I usually have people hook their thumbs in their belt and hold on to it, and just go through the footwork of the kata, right? And I'll scoot a little bit closer. Just looking at the Kihongata, the very first step draws your feet together, and so you can see with the staff that clear delineation of that angle that my hips are now at. And then I'm going to step out and drive forward, and now the staff is straight side to side again. That shift from this 45-degree loaded position into this forward-facing position is teaching you how to move your weight onto one hip so that you can drive your body weight forward and rotate your hip. Because settling into a stance and then rotating your hip is not going to generate as much power as moving your whole body weight as you do it, right? Just getting you started with that is better than a lot of what you see people learning as their basics, where they'll like stand in a horse stance and throw punches for an hour. They're not learning anything with that, really. Yeah, they're learning how to throw a basic punch, but they're learning it without any context, and they're not learning how to move with it. So they're strengthening their legs, which they could do doing squats in a gym more efficiently and more quickly, right? And they're practicing basic punches removed from all context. So something like the Kihongata that were developed by Chibana are teaching you right off the bat how to generate power, and it's teaching you right off the bat what this thing is for. Because one of the #1 complaints about karate is, oh, this punching with your hand on your hip is going to get you punched in the head. Well, no, it's not, because the kata tells you right off the bat it's to grab and pull and control part of the opponent before you punch them, or as you punch them. Consider it like an overhook, right? Anytime you see people doing karate punches and you see this, just imagine an overhook as their kind of default setting, right? And you'll have a much better idea of what's going on in karate. Because as I mentioned earlier, it is a blended grappling and striking art.